So this is a given and it should be obvious sense for people, but unfortunately from Sharia they look up and they don't understand what the people of Marifah are doing. So their wudu is at all times, their understanding of water is immense. It's not a debate on making a video of how to do wudu. Although our people didn't do the video, which we still need a video on how to do the wudu properly according to the instructions that we sent out. But it's the debate of you must always be in wudu. Then the haqqaiq and the way of marifah of wudu, then what's the power of water? Because ilm sharia says that this water to this amount you must wash for your salah. But the knowledge of tariqah says you must be in wudu at all times. As soon as you lose your wudu you have to get up and go make your wudu and regain your wudu. Why? Because you can't be in the associations of the shaykh, you can't be doing your zikr, your awrads, your practices. You're trying to keep the companionship of the shaykh and the companionship of awliya, but you cannot have lost your wudu. This is knowledge of tariqah. Then knowledge of marifah comes and teaches you what is water. That which you're making wudu is what? It's an angelic force. Then they go in to teach you, what is this H2O? And what's the power that Allah has put upon my when He described that, my throne arsh is upon the mai. Then ilmu haqiqah goes deeper into the mai and teaches you that mai is actually meem and alif. And then what Allah is giving to us is that the secret of La ilaha illallah Muhammadan Rasulullah ma and alif, meem and alif. So the haqqaiq, if they start to speak about it, then the guy at the sharia he keeps saying, how come they don't make wudu and how come they don't do like this and how come they don't make a video on wudu? Then you see how sort of way off they are. Wudu, this is the foundation that we have to be at a constant state. Why? Because we're under attack. If you see somebody not in wudu and they argue with you, because they'll argue with you to lower the standard, not raise the standard, which doesn't make sense because you should never argue with somebody to lower the standard. They say, no, it's not required, they'll quote, it's not required at all times, it's required for the salah or ibadah. But your objective was not to lower the standard but was to raise the standard of the students. But the scholars and teachers and shaykhs of realities and marifah, they know that, no, we actually come under attack. As soon as you lose wudu, the shield drops. These creatures from the jinn world, whether they're roaches, snakes, energy, everything begins to attack them from their feet, the entire body. As soon as the shaykh enters into a majlis, whomever is watching their majlis from wherever they are, all negativities are coming. And that's why they shield themselves with the pictures of their shaykhs on the broadcast that, look at them, don't look at us. But irregardless, the energies of people come towards the magnet, and that's why they insist that you must wash before you enter into these associations. And it is a great disrespect not to be washed because all your dirtiness is being cast. But the lower one doesn't know that because they didn't seek the knowledges of realities. So this is a magnet, common sense. As soon as you turn on a powerful magnet it attracts all negativity. That then enters into these understandings. So the haqqaiq of mai is La ilaha illallah Muhammadan Rasulullah, meem, alif. And that Allah is giving to us that my throne is upon this meem and alif. And that's why we said Qaaba Qawsayni aw Adna is what? La ilaha illallah, two bows were Muhammadan Rasulullah. From that qudra of these two realities, existence and creation coming into existence. This is the knowledge of haqqaiq of wudu. So of course you're washing yourself from an immense power, you're keeping yourself dressed with that immense power. Then they teach you in this way of marifah, moving into these oceans of haqqaiq, you also have to keep the wudu inside your being. And that's why they give you the awrads and the zikrs. As you wash your outside with water, you must purify your inner water. 70% or more of our being has liquid, and that liquid has to be purified. And its purification is dhikrullah. The highest form of dhikr